Bernardo Bellotto, also known as Il Canaletto, was a great Italian 18th century landscape painter who worked first in Venice, then moved out of Italy. When he arrived in Warsaw, invited by the Polish king, he became a court painter and spent the last 13 years of his life there. Often referred as the Warsaw photographer due to the fact that his views resembled real photographs. In fact, his perfect technique paid attention to the smaller details, making his works also become true historical documentation. The story of the views, in fact, tells the story of the capital. In addition to having an unspeakable artistic value, the views served a noble purpose: the reconstruction of the city after the bombings of the Second World War, that has razed to the ground. In fact, views have a strong realism and precision. The whole town was thus rebuilt as it was in the 18th century, leaving out the changes that occurred in the following period, bringing back the splendor of the golden century of Warsaw. There is a really interesting anecdote related to the statue of the monkey that appears on a palace in Warsaw. Historians have rebuilt it precisely on the basis of Canaletto's paintings, making a mistake, as this statue did not exist. It was added by the painter. According to some historians, it's a vendetta of Canaletto, who came into conflict with the owners of the building, who had not paid him for a job done for this family.
The Lady with the Ermine is Leonardo da Vinci's first enigmatic subject before the Mona Lisa. The painting gives us the sense of mystery and sensuality. It was painted in oil on board between 1489 and 1490. The subject was being defined with Cecilia Gallerani, Ludovico Sforza mistress. Ludovico Sforza was also known as Il Moro.
Measuring 54 x 40 cm, it shows a half-length figure of a girl, Cecilia Gallerani, turned at three-quarter angle to her right, but with her face turned to her left. She's gazing at something off to the right. In her arms she holds an ermine. Leonardo depicts Cecilia as a figure of virtue. Clean and pale face, delicate features, soft and long hands, elegant and sober attire. She's dressed in a fairly simple tunic, with her hair bound and plaited in a vial. Lady with an Ermine exemplifies several techniques of high Renaissance painting: Leonardo's mastery of chiaroscuro, then the use of sfumato to create fine and very gradual tone changes, and last, the use of light that falls across the painting from the upper right to the bottom left.
Leonardo used a technique called contrapposto. In fact, Cecilia is posed about halfway between front and profile views.
Cecilia's attire is simple and elegant. Over her left shoulder she's wearing a garment known as sbernia, a thin dark fillet that runs across her forehead supports a short indiscernible veil, which frames her face in a lace fringe. A second transparent veil holds her hair across her cheeks. Black beads of the necklaces add to the air of modesty.
The ermine is included in the portrait for several symbolic reasons. It was a traditional symbol of purity, and it could also be a reference to Cecilia's maiden name, which is similar to a Greek word for the animal. It can also allude to Ludovico il Moro, who had been a member of the Order of the Ermine.